Hi everyone, I'm Alexandra and welcome to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a collab with Girly Life 400 and we're going to be doing a back to school collaboration. She's doing a 3 healthy snacks for school video and I'm going to be sharing with you different tips and tricks on how to keep your makeup to stay all day through a natural makeup look. This is a natural makeup look that I'll be sharing with you today, and I'm also going to be telling you different tricks on how you can make your makeup stay, which is just simple ones. But if you'd like to know different tricks that I know throughout doing my makeup, then you can comment down below and I'll definitely do a video on all of them. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and this is the makeup look, and I hope that you have fun getting ready to go back to school, because I don't know what it's like anymore. But I do, because I'm going back to school, but I'm going to a different school, so I definitely will be using this makeup look when I go back to school in September. So yes, see you soon. So I'm going to start by just putting my hair up with a hairband. Now I look about 3. Right, so I'm going to grab my beauty blender and my Nivea Day Cream, and I use this throughout my whole high school experience. I've been using this for absolutely years. I swear by this moisturiser. I would put some on here, I've already put some on, but I'm just going to pat it in with my beauty blender. And the reason I'm doing this is so that any dry skin or any like spots or anything I have, like, they're moisturised but they're not being rubbed throughout my face, and it doesn't create redness or anything because you're patting on your skin, and it makes your skin more smooth than what it did before, even though it might not be as smooth. Now I'm actually running out of foundation, so my attempt to use foundation would be trying to get it out of this bottle using another brush, but I'm going to be using a Collection Illuminating Touch foundation. A great way to use foundation that sort of stops any sort of movement throughout the day is putting it on the back of your hand and making sure that you go like sort of a few ways. Like, you definitely want to put it on the back of your hand and use it that way, because that stops any sort of too much in one place and not enough in other places, sort of that sort of thing. I've only got a tiny bit on the back of my hand because I don't want to place too much on, but this foundation especially, you need to definitely blend it and make sure you blend it out completely, otherwise it will move throughout the day. I'm just going to put one layer on at the moment. I'm not going to worry about spots or anything, and I'll catch up with you once I've done one layer. So a definite tip for foundation is to use foundation where you need it. So that would be here definitely for me, because I need a foundation here, and here definitely. I don't really need foundation up here, even though I am a bit red, and I'm just going to place some here and just under my eyes, because I don't use concealer, so I just put an extra part in. I'm just going to use the rest of it and put it up here. But as you see, I don't put much on my forehead. And sort of the way that I do my foundation is I pat it in very, very gently. I'm not moving the foundation anywhere, I'm just patting it in, just making sure I get that inner corner. I'm probably going to use this section for this inner corner very gently. But I'm using a flat section because this means it doesn't press into my pores, it just layers on top, meaning that it will cover all the redness easier. Now, what I'm doing with the foundation is I'm using it in areas where I need it, and then I'm blending it out to areas I don't need it, as my skin is very, very uneven. So, and I don't want it full coverage throughout the day of school because I don't want heavy makeup for a whole day of school. So I just blend it out to the areas I need it, like I said. On my nose and on my forehead, I usually take it up the side and use some makeup for there. And as I'm saying, like, I'm using patting motions. This is very gentle, it's not hurting my skin at all. And it's very important that you don't, like, use too much on your skin because you are only in school, your skin needs to breathe. So I'm just gonna make sure I've covered this area. I'm just gonna quickly go down my neck. Even though my foundation matches my neck, I do want to make sure that I don't have any sort of foundation line. So So now I'm just going to make sure it's all blended, and one thing that you can tell is to make sure there's no streaks or anything. I've got completely no streaks, but it used to always patch up during the day, and that was because I didn't blend it very well. So I'm just going to make sure I blend it evenly on my face. Now you can still see my natural redness, and that's okay. I'm okay by that because I want to ensure that I'm not covering up my skin too much, even though everyone always says I wear too much makeup. I don't wear that much foundation. Now is your point where you want to put concealer on if you're going to do concealer. I don't know the best way to conceal. I know there's different types of formations that you can conceal your skin at, but I don't know which is best so far because I don't actually use concealer on my face. But I think if you're in school, definitely like underneath your eyes if you want to brighten up. Definitely use like certain colours on spots and things. I know I have a spot right here. I would probably use green on this and blend it the tiniest bit, and then use normal coloured, like my face colour foundation. That's what I mean by normal colour. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. And then I'd probably use a brighter one just underneath my eye, probably like one shade lighter than my skin tone. So yes, and then I'd probably blend that out with this sort of tone of my beauty blender. But as I said before, I don't use any sort of concealer on my face. What I do use though is a darker foundation for my contour, because I want a very natural contour for my, like, I am only 16, I don't want to go to school with a massive contour, even though like I don't technically go to school anymore. So I'm going to take the round edge of my beauty blender, and what I just did is I took my foundation brush, and this is a precision foundation brush. I don't know what brand this is, and I use my Avon Invisible Coverage Dry to, it says cream to powder foundation, and I'm going to take the round part of the brush as this blends better. I'm just going to pat this first of all, and as I'm patting I'm moving up and down, and this will sort of blend it out up on that line there. This is not to contour really, it's just to add a bit of colour to my face, because my face can be very one shaded. When I've put foundation on, I'm just going to blend this up. I've got no extra product on my face at all with this. And even though you can't really see that colour that I've put on my face, it's very subtle. But it'll add, when I put bronzer on later, it will sort of add. As you can see, it's not really different to my skin that much. And again, I'm going to just blend it out the same as I've done before, going up and down, and all this time I'm patting, but I'm using certain parts of my sponge to make sure I get that very crisp look. If you want makeup tips videos, I sure will do them, because I've done a lot of research in makeup, but I know I'm not the best, but I do know quite a few tips that I can help you with. And that's sort of the wet products on my face done. And if you are starting out on makeup, it's very important that you do wet products first. Now a tip no one really knows about, and I feel like no one knows about it because I've never seen someone do it in a YouTube video. I feel like more makeup gurus do it, but they don't want to say because it's kind of weird. So I take my makeup sponge, and this is still damp, it doesn't matter whether it's damp or dry. I'm going to put a tissue over it. Now this tissue needs to be very light. I'm going to actually peel this in half. No, actually, I'm just going to leave it because who cares. You want to make sure it's smoothed completely on one side, and this can be any side. Just make sure it's completely smooth. You want to be very gentle and just bounce this over your skin. I'm barely touching my skin. I'm just getting rid of the excess oils or the excess makeup that hasn't sunk into my skin and hasn't really gone for the good. This will remove shine, and it will also help this will remove shine, and it will also help your makeup stay throughout the day, because you won't have excess makeup throughout your skin. Not much will come off, like as you can see, not much has come off, but that much can make a difference throughout your skin. I feel like that's something that no one really talks about. I learnt that from an actual makeup artist, and I think it's really important that you do know that, because it sort of really does help. I'm going to leave this to sort of set and dry. I'm not going to touch it with anything, and I'm going to move on to my eyes very, very quickly. So for my eyes, I'm going to do a very soft sort of smoky eye, because I feel like this can really like set out a day and make you look more awake. And I used to do a really dramatic smoky eye for school, but today I'm going to be using the Collection Eyes Uncovered palette, and I absolutely love this. Like, you don't understand my love for this palette. This is my go-to palette. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to be taking the colour Chocolate Milk, and this is a soft brown. It's a very, very soft brown. I'm going to be taking it on a large blender brush, which currently has pink on because we're having a competition here at my house between, you'll find out later on in August. So I'm going to take it, I'm just going to load my brush up, and I'm just swiping up and down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a very technique. I'm going to hold the end of the brush because that stops you using it too faintly, and it just means that you don't load too much product on at one time and helps your blending. I'm just going to use on the outer edge of my eye, and I'm just going to blend forwards and backwards, making sure putting the colour on very gently, because I don't want to definitely like dark smoky eye, but I want some colour to my eye. So I'm just blending that forwards and backwards throughout my crease, and this is just above my crease. It's not in my crease, it's just above my crease. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this down onto my eye, because you'll see I might use will I use a darker colour? Yeah, I might use a darker colour for today. So now that's blended out, and that sort of added like a darker brown to my eye, and I think that just makes it look better. So now I'm going to take the next colour along, which is Brown Sugar, and this is this colour right here. I'm just going to take the same brush because, you know, I'm not going to load as much product on, I've just tapped it in. I'm going to take off the excess, again holding it at the end of the brush, and I'm just going to go into the outer edge of the eye and just go forward and backwards. I don't want to take this along my along my crease. I can't talk today. I'm not going to take this quite along my crease. I'm going to focus on the outer edge. And some people might find this very dark for a school day, but I sort of think it's okay to have like a little bit of colour. Now I've just rubbed the excess off my hand, and I'm just going to blend that out now in circular motions across the eyelid, because we want all that to blend together. Now that's blended, you can't really see the difference between the dark colour and the lighter colour. It's very, very subtle. Now I'm going to take my all over shadow brush, and I'm going to take the lighter golden colour, and this is in Buttercream. No, it isn't. It's in Biscuit, number 3 Biscuit, and I'm just going to take this. I've loaded up my brush completely. I'm just going to knock off the excess, and I'm going to use it halfway down because I do want to pack it on my lid. I'm just going to place this on the inner third of my eyelid, focusing on the inner corner right here, going up to the outer third. You don't want to go any further than the outer third of your eye. Just making sure you focus on getting that colour on. Then I'm going to take my brush again, and I'm just going to quickly blend the top bit. I'm not touching the actual eyelid, I'm not touching the colour at all. I'm just going just above that colour right there to blend it out, and just next to it, just to make sure it's all blended, because I don't want it to be a harsh line. Now I'm going to take the exact same brush, and I'm going to use the other side because I don't want to mix the colours for when I do this eye. And I'm going to take Buttercream, and I'm just going to place this on the very inner corner and just underneath my lash line. So I'm just going to place this on the inner corner right here. I'm just going to carry that just up to where my lashes start on the lower lash line, where they sort of get darker, which is right there. So I want this to be a very natural look, so I'm not going to take any colour underneath my eye. What I'm going to take next is my Maybelline Line Refine Expression Kajal, and this is a kohl eyeliner, and I'm just going to line the top of waterline, but I'm not going to go any further than my tear duct. I'm just going to make sure that I make my lashes very bold. So I'm just placing this on the upper eyelash line, darkening that eyelash line. I'm not going to take it on the lower lash line, but my eyeliner does drip down onto that lower lash line when I close my eyes, so I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Now I'm going to take my eyelash curlers and I'm going to curl the top lashes very gently onto my lashes and just open and close that very gently, very slightly on my lashes, just to curl them up. And I'm going to take my mascara, volumizing mascara by Collection, and this is, I love this mascara, I use it every day even though it's very voluminous. And I'm just going to place this on my lash line. You want to be so gentle because you don't want so much volume, because it's not a dramatic look we're looking for. We're just looking for some colour on our lashes for this look. Definitely, if you are careful, it won't go on your lids. I barely ever get makeup on my lids, mascara on my lids. And a very important part is to make sure you start when it looks natural so that it doesn't overcrowd your lashes and you don't get spider legs. Now I'm going to take a different mascara for the lower lashes because I don't want so much volume that it looks unnatural. So I'm going to be taking this, I don't know what this is called, I think it's like a shock mascara by Collection. And it just has a very small brush, as the other one had a very large brush to give volume. This one has a very small brush to lengthen your lashes, so I'm just going to take that on the bottom lashes. Very gently, just applying that product. I'm not trying to add any skill to my lashes, I'm just adding product. And that's my lashes done. As you can see, there's a big difference between this side and this side to make your lashes and your eyes stand out throughout the day. Even though it's not too much for a school day, I think this really does give a nice look. I'm going to do the other eye and then I'll catch up with you. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my face and I want to set the makeup that I put down before. So I'm going to take my Collection pressed powder and I'm going to take my deluxe powder brush. Now I've washed all my brushes, so my brushes are looking fine. I'm just going to dab this in all over because I don't want to swirl the product around because I don't want too much offset from the powder. I'm just going to take off the excess because we don't want too much because I don't want a caked face. And I'm going to start on the apples of my cheeks and work my way out, as this is the main place where I seem to get very much caking or dryness on my face and where my foundation first starts to take off. Now I'm barely touching my face because I don't like to add too much powder, but I'm just gonna quickly dust that over. I'm barely touching my face. Again, I'm using halfway down my brush on the, probably like the second third of the brush. So I'm gonna go quickly back to my eyebrows, and I have a message. Don't know where my phone is though. I'm going to quickly go back to my eyebrows. As you can tell, my eyebrows are pretty dark as they are and they sort of don't need standing out. I usually correct the outer edge just to make that a bit more sharper. But I take a eyeliner brush, as this is more easier to do. This is a fine liner brush, and I'm just going to take that and just fill in the outer edge. As you can see, I'm just filling them in. I'm not drawing them on because, as you can see my eyebrows. They don't really need drawing on. I'm going to take this, I don't really know what this is called, it would be great if I knew what it's called. I'm going to take this and just quickly brush through my eyebrows just to set them in place. Now you can use an eyebrow gel to set yours in place. I don't have any because my eyebrows don't usually move throughout the day. I usually have no problems with my eyebrows, so I'm just going to keep them as they are. Now I'm going to take the colour White Chocolate from my colour palette, and I'm also going to take my flat brush again. And this is a very white colour, it's got no shimmer in. I'm just going to take that underneath the brow bone right here. And my eyebrows need sorting because they're not looking the best. I'm putting this on ever so gently because I don't want there to be a white streak and then brown when my eyes start. So I'm just going to quickly place that on. And I'm not using any shimmer today because I don't want it to be dramatic. I just want it to be very colourful but more natural. I've used golden undertoned highlight in my inner corner to make sure that it does stand out and brightens up my eyes, but to make sure it's also very natural. So I'm going to take a bronzer and just quickly bronze my face. I don't do contour for school because I think that's too much. This is a very warm toned bronzer, as I find warm tones just suit my skin better. I don't really Cool tones don't really suit my skin, and I'm just going to go over that section right there. I'm not worried about blending it out because I'll do that in a minute, and I'm using it at the end of my brush. The end of my brush again, and I'm just going to use that up there. I'm just going to go up the side of my face very, very lightly. No more product on my brush, and I'm just going to go across my face. Same with the other side. Very gently on the side of my face. Up this side. I've got no more product on when I'm going up to the top of my forehead. It's just to add the tiniest bit of colour. This is an angled blender brush, and I'm just going to take this and quickly bluff over. I'm using it at this end, but I probably should be using it here just to make sure that I don't move any product around, and I'm just going to blend this out. I'm using small circular motions just to make sure it's not a harsh line. I'm just going to quickly go up and around my face, just to make sure there's no harsh line there, and same on this side. Moving on to brush, I've been loving stippling sort of brushes for this because I find that these put on the colour very well. I'm going to be using the Collection blush in Shocking. Now I find coral colours really suit my skin tone very well rather than pink blushes, but I only have a pink blush at the moment, so I'm just going to place this on the apples of my cheek. I'm just going to press this on very lightly. Again, I'm using the outer third of my brush. Press this on very lightly and sort of swipe down. I'm doing this right above my bronzer, and you can barely see because I don't want too much redness on my skin because, as I said before, I've got a very red toned face and I don't really like it. I'm not going to highlight today, but if you would like to highlight your skin and get a more natural look, probably use a gold undertoned highlight to make it more natural. But I quite like the fact that I have no highlight on today. Lastly, I'm going to finish off my lips, and I'm going to use a Baby Lips Cherry Me. I really like the colour of this because it's very subtle red, and it does give the tiniest bit of colour. But it also looks after my lips and makes sure that my lips are very moisturised. This is easy to put on throughout the day because if you're not allowed to wear that much makeup. This is lip balm. You can get away with it. I'm going to do my hair and then I'm going to catch up with you because this is the finished makeup look, and I will catch up with you in a minute. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you enjoyed. Also go and check out Girly Lad's video, or if you've come from her, welcome to my channel. And I hope you enjoyed the video a lot. If you'd like to see the makeup tips, then comment down below and I sure will do that for you guys. And this thing is super annoying me right now, but yes. So yes, I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!